What's up, everyone? It's Cole-Man. Today, I just want to do a quick track breakdown of my new song Loco with OFFAIAH and TWAN on OFFAIAH Records. I've been getting quite a few messages and comments on social media asking what I used in my vocal chain to process the vocals for this track. So just want to do a quick little deep dive on what I use to process the vocals and how I go about vocal engineering in general. So whenever I get a vocal, the first thing I always do is I run it through a plugin called Melodyne. And Melodyne is just a tuning plugin. And the reason why I use Melodyne instead of Auto-Tune is you can be a lot more detailed with Melodyne. And I think it's going to come out sounding a lot more natural. I do use Auto-Tune sometimes, but it just depends on the track I'm making and the vibe of the song as a whole. So after I'm done tuning in Melodyne, the next thing I'll do is a quick EQ. And you can use your stock EQ that comes with your DAW and Ableton, Logic, whatever. I use the Pro Q3 by FabFilter. And essentially what I'm doing here is just cutting out any bad frequencies that I don't want going into the rest of my processing. Because the rest of the processing is going to be compression, saturation, and those things increase harmonics. And so any bad frequencies like the real bass low end or any harsh frequencies in the high end are going to be amplified later on. So we want to make sure that we take those out beforehand. So let's take a quick listen to the vocal here real quick.
Tú y ese culo, loco, tú y ese culo.
And then if I solo, let's say this frequency right here, you can hear it kind of has that harshness to it. So I want to take that down a little bit before I dive into anything else. So after my first EQ, I then run the vocal through a plugin called Neutron by iZotope. And this is actually a really cool plugin. It's kind of an AI-based plugin to where you play the vocal and the plugin listens to it and provides you with custom processing. So I do want to recommend, this is just a baseline for processing, still definitely go into the compressors, the EQ, and edit the parameters to your liking. That sounds good with your song. I also turn off the sculptor and the exciter. I just feel like when it comes out, typically it sounds a little bit over processed. So yeah, I just want to do a light processing, light compression, light EQ with this. And then that gives you a really good baseline for everything moving forward. We're just trying to tighten things up a little bit more. So after Neutron, I'm going to run the vocal through one more compressor, and that is the LA2A. It's probably the most popular compressor used on vocals throughout any genre in music. Most big plugin companies have a LA2A replica plugin that they sell for pretty cheap, but the LA2A provides a lot of warmth, which is good for vocals, and it's just really smooth sounding. So again, we're just doing a light compression, maybe 1 dB of gain reduction here. We're just running it through again just to tighten things up just a little bit more, and then get the color and the warmth that comes along with the LA2A as well. So now that we've sculpted the vocal with EQs and we've compressed the vocal with the LA2A and with Neutron, now we're going to go into some saturation. And again, it's just a little bit, but what a saturator does is it increases harmonics and makes the vocal more dynamic. So it's going to add a little bit more color to it and make it stand out a little bit more in the mix. So you can use any saturator plugin you like. I just use the Ableton stock plugin, just 2 dBs of drive on the lowest setting, which is the analog clip. And then I put soft clip on as well. And like I said, that's just going to add a little bit more color, make it more present within the mix. And then finally, we have one more EQ that we're doing, again, the similar thing to what we did at the beginning, cutting out all our bad frequencies, cutting out the low end, cutting out any harsh frequencies throughout that we find. And then the vocal is going to be ready to sit within your mix. So let's take a listen with all of our processing on and see how it sounds.
Tú y ese culo, loco. Tú y ese culo, loco. Tú y ese culo, loco.
And then if I turn all of the processing off,
Tú y ese culo, loco. Tú y ese culo, loco. Tú y ese culo, loco. Tú y ese culo, loco.
so you can hear it's definitely a lot more crisp, a lot more present within the track. And then if we play everything together with the rest of the song,
Tú y ese culo, loco. 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 Tú y ese culo me tienen bien loco.
sounds great, sounds present, has some high-end crispiness to it. And yeah, that's how I go about my vocal engineering. It's different from song to song, but that's what I used on this song Loco with OFFAIAH and TWAN out on OFFAIAH Records. Hope this helps you guys, and let me know if you want some more of these breakdowns in the future.